Good afternoon, esteemed fundraising colleagues. Isn't it great to be here at Congress, to be out of the office, to be away from our meetings, to have the mental space to think, reflect, network, and learn new things? Because no matter what kind of fundraiser you are, you probably do a lot of meetings. And meetings are great. In my role, I try to make sure I'm spending 60% of my time out of the office meeting with donors. The other 75% of the time, it seems, I'm getting those meetings. It's a skill in and of itself. So anything I read or hear about on how to increase success in setting meetings gets my attention. Last month at the IFC in Holland, I learned about a bold campaign, a very bold campaign, which in a very public way targeted 6 business people and asked them to call the charity and set a meeting. This came from SOS Children's Villages in Belgium. They were having a capital campaign, and they needed more funding and more corporate partners. Let's see how they did it.
99%. SOS Children's Villages provides family-based care for abandoned children. 10 children live together with one SOS mother in one house. 7 to 15 houses form a village. Chantevant is their biggest village in Belgium. For its renovation, SOS Children's Villages needed money. Lots of money. Instead of organizing a huge collection, we decided to ask people who could really make a difference. 6 of Belgium's captains of industry. But how to reach them? By mail? By phone? By letter? Think that will get by his or her assistant? There has to be another way. Every self-respecting CEO in Belgium reads the financial newspapers De Tijd and L'Echo. We decided to disguise a direct mail piece as the most targeted ad ever. An ad aimed at only 6 persons. To stand out in the financial newspaper, we used the Occupy Wall Street codes, but turned them upside down. Although the ad appeared only once, the 6 saw it. But as importantly, their friends and colleagues saw it too, and talked about it. 3 of the 6 contacted SOS Children's Villages. Of those 3, Sophie Dutourdois of Electrabel personally called Hilde Boykens and asked how she could help. Electrabel is now a proud SOS Children's Villages partner with a 3-year, €300,000 commitment. For the marketing people, 50% response with 17% conversion and an infinite return as we used only free space and donated our time and the artwork. For all you normal people, lots of good stuff for the children of Chantevant.
I love it. I love it for so many reasons. A brand new corporate partnership worth €300,000 over 3 years, all from a brazen acquisition ad in the newspaper. When I first saw this, I was just so blown away. And I'm actually curious, how many of you wish you had thought of this? How many of you like this? Great. And how many of you are not so sure you wish you had thought of this and don't like it so much? Ken Wyman. Because that was me. That was me on the way home somewhere over the Atlantic Ocean. I lost my enthusiasm for this case for support. There are so many reasons not to do this. And my analytical mind started chattering. Is this really a good idea? Should we really do this? By the time I got to Toronto, I was convinced I was going to be detained by customs for bringing something very illegal back to Canada. Again, there's so many reasons not to do this. And the #1 reason is it's all kinds of crazy. Now, I like to consider myself an innovative fundraiser. I have a certain risk tolerance, but this risk is above all else. What if those 6 named in the ad, I don't know, hated each other? How would they feel towards SOS Children's Villages for being lumped together like that in print? What if the media glommed onto this and criticized it in a very public way? What if nobody responded? Worse, what if some of these names did respond very angrily, feeling named and shamed? Can you imagine doing this in Canada? We'd have to take an ad out in the paper the next day issuing a public apology. The second reason I would advise against doing this is that it's completely counterintuitive. This, after all, corporate fundraising, is the realm of the sacred, the mighty, one-to-one relationship fundraising where we build trust and integrity one meal, one phone call, one personal interaction at a time. That's turned on its head and kicked in its shins by SOS Children's Villages here with this mass marketing approach. I'm actually getting irritated and tired of talking about this campaign, so I'll give you one more why I wouldn't do this. It's a one-shot deal. It's a one-shot deal. This is not scalable. This is not repeatable. And if these people didn't read the paper that day, your charity is dead in the water. So what I'm really here today is to tell you not to do this, but I have also had a bit of a revelation. It's so ridiculous, I actually think this was a hoax, that SOS Children's Villages are playing a trick on us. We're the butt of the joke. This is going to be on Snopes. So I'm going to finish my story and get off the stage. It's been a hard week. As you can see, I've been on quite an emotional journey with this case for support, from the highs of discovering it and the excitement of wanting to do it to the lows of disappointment and disillusionment. And so I decided I needed closure, and I needed to do two things. So last week I did a couple things. I called Paula Hatfield, didn't I? And I said, yeah, you know that IWITOT case for support, mine's a dud, I'm going to get you another one. And then I found I couldn't move forward. So I called that number in the ad. I called Hilda Boykins, who I don't know, the managing director of SOS Children's Villages in Belgium. And I said, Hilda, this is a hoax, right? And she said, no, it was a transformational campaign for us. I said, but what about all the risks and the mad donors and the mad media and the. And they had the same fears about doing this in their own market. And then she said to me, she said, Rebecca, if you rework and overthink it, you'll wind up with, at best, an average campaign. Sometimes you just get a feeling about something and you have to go with it. And then she gave me some more astonishing results from this campaign. Two of the other captains of industry that were named in the article, in the ad, have called her and are in cultivation for a major gift. So now, colleagues, I'm once again excited by this. And I'm really inspired. Will I try this? No, it's a one-shot deal. I really, really do believe that. But what I think I need to do in front of you all today as fundraisers is declare publicly that I am the #1 fan of SOS Children's Villages, Belgium. I love this campaign. I really wish I'd thought of this campaign because it's bold, it's risky, it's unrepeatable. But you know what the #1 thing I took away from this is? My jacket. The #1 thing I took away from this is that it's not, the hard part is not thinking up the ideas. The hard part is getting the courage to execute them. Thank you very much.